Welcome to 5G Benchmark. Today, we're taking a closer look at the MikroTik ATL5GR16 router and one of its most powerful but lesser known capabilities, cell locking. This device includes some surprisingly advanced features for optimizing band usage, giving you control that many other routers just don't offer. In this video, we'll explore how you can use those tools in practice and test what kind of real-world impact cell locking can have compared to the default automatic configuration. Today, we're diving into one of the key optimization tricks for the ATL5GR16, manual band and cell locking. With the right setup, this simple tweak can deliver a noticeable performance boost, often increasing download and upload speeds by 30% or more. By default, routers don't always select the most optimal band or cell, which can lead to underwhelming speeds, especially in areas where multiple base stations provide similar signal strength. In such cases, the router might connect to a less efficient cell. Start by running a speed test on your current connection to see how your router performs with the default band and cell. Next, use a tool like Cellmapper to check whether the current band and serving base station are the most optimal for your location. Sometimes, even if the signal appears strong, another band or cell might deliver significantly better performance. Once you've identified a better candidate, you can lock your ATL5GR16 to that specific cell and frequency using the terminal commands. After locking, run another speed test to compare the results. This step is essential. It lets you see real improvements in speed and stability based on the actual conditions around your home or office. Finally, to get the most out of your connection, you may need to disable non-optimal bands. Router lets you do this directly within RouterOS, so you can prevent the router from falling back to slower combinations. We start by running a speed test to see how router performs with the default band and cell. In this case, the ATL5GR16 reaches around 266 megabits per second down and 72 megabits up. Decent results, but there's clear potential for improvement. Looking closer, we can see that the router has selected band 20 as the primary band, which isn't optimal for this specific base station and likely limits overall throughput. Using Cellmapper, we identify the current serving cell, band 3, which offers only average performance in our area. However, based on our location and signal analysis, band 1, specifically the cell with PCI 64 and EARFCN 497, looks like a much better fit. We'll want to remember these two values because they'll be needed when we perform the cell lock. The cell monitor tool in RouterOS is one of the most useful features of the ATL5GR16. It scans and lists all nearby 4G and 5G frequencies, showing details like EAR, FCN, PCI, band, and signal strength in real time. Unlike Cellmapper, which relies on community data that can sometimes be incomplete or outdated, the cell monitor gives live measurements directly from your location, providing a much clearer picture of how the network actually behaves. With this tool, you can identify which cells belong to the same base station, compare their signal quality, and decide which one is worth locking onto for the best performance. Cell locking in the ATL5GR16 is done through the terminal using specific AT commands. Let's head over to the official documentation page to see the exact command format for this router. I'll also leave a direct link in the comment section below. We can choose whether we want to lock a 4G or 5G cell and define how many frequencies we want to include in the lock. This is one of the unique features of MikroTik devices. Unlike many other routers that allow locking only a single frequency, the ATL lets you lock onto multiple frequencies at once. Before we continue, it's important to note two things. First, cell lock information is not saved after a reboot or modem reset, so it needs to be reapplied when the router restarts. Second, the command locks the cell and frequency, but the modem may still hand over to another cell if the network instructs it to. Now let's start by picking a single frequency. We'll enter the correct EARFCN number and the PCI of the cell we want to target, then send the command through the terminal. After that, we'll open the status page, and as you can see, the modem has now locked onto the selected cell as the primary connection. Before moving on to cell locking, we also want to make sure the router is using only the most optimal frequency bands with maximum bandwidth. To do that, we open the RouterOS band selection page and define which bands the router is allowed to use. In this setup, the best performing ones are bands 1, 3, and 20, so we select those and apply the changes. The same type of band selection can also be made for 5G frequencies. Once the optimal bands are locked in, we can move on to speed testing and cell-specific tuning. Next, we'll run another speed test to see what kind of difference this makes. And the improvement is clear. Download speeds jump to over 450 megabits per second, and upload is close to 100 megabits per second. Definitely worth the effort. Locking to the optimal frequency provides a major boost compared to the default configuration. Now we're going to try locking multiple cells. This time we'll include B3 and also B1. The only difference in the command is that we first specify that we want to lock 2 cells instead of 1. After applying the command, we'll run another speed test. And as we can see, the results are still noticeably better than the default configuration. However, the previous combination performed slightly better when B1 was used as the primary frequency. This shows how small changes in the locking configuration can influence overall performance, and why it's worth experimenting to find the most stable and fastest setup for your specific location. As mentioned earlier, you can also perform cell locking for 5G frequencies when using SA mode. The overall process is almost the same as with 4G. You still use the same command format, but there's one important difference. When locking 5G cells, you must also enter the SCS value, or subcarrier spacing, which defines how the 5G signal is structured. This parameter doesn't exist in 4G locking, so it's critical to include it here. For example, when locking the N1 band, the SCS value is 15, while for the N78 band, it's 30. The correct value depends on your network operator, so always verify this before running the command. To summarize, the ATL5GR16 offers exceptional capabilities for cell locking and fine-tuning, allowing precise control over both 4G and 5G connections. Our tests showed clear improvements in speed and stability when the router was locked to the optimal cell and frequency. That's all for this video, but stay tuned. The next one will feature the Cudy P5. If you found this useful, remember to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below to support the channel and help us bring you more 5G router reviews.